Vladimir Putin lashes out at the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv for the first time in weeks as G7 leaders gather in Germany to discuss further Western support for Ukraine. Support for the Ukrainian government is top of the agenda in Germany as leaders from the world's most powerful nations meet to discuss how they can further arm the Ukrainians, and increase the economic pressure on Moscow by banning Russian gold imports. Before Sunday's early morning attack, Kyiv had not faced any such Russian airstrikes since June 5. Explosions were also heard in the central Ukrainian city of Cherkasy on Sunday, former regional governor Alexander Skichko said on the Telegram app. He did not give further details. Cherkasy has been largely untouched by bombardment since Russia invaded Ukraine in February. Ukraine said it has just started using a long-range U.S. rocket system, known as HIMARS, that allows Ukraine to fire on Russian targets at distances of 40 miles or more, much further than with previous systems. Ukrainian officials, meanwhile, said Russia's airstrikes were a direct message to the leaders at the summit. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba posted a tweet saying that G7 summit must respond with more sanctions on Russia and more heavy arms for Ukraine. Associated Press journalists in Kyiv saw rescue services battling flames and rescuing civilians. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko said 2 people were hospitalized with injuries. Ukraine Member of Parliament Oleksiy Goncharenko wrote on the Telegram messaging app that, according to prelim data, 14 missiles were launched against Kyiv region and Kyiv. Klitschko said one of the missile strikes had partially destroyed a 9-story apartment building and caused a fire. Rescuers were trying to get people from under the rubble, he said. The commander of Ukraine's National Police Force, Ihor Klimenko, said on national television that 5 people had been wounded in the strike. Russia unleashed more than 40 long-range airstrikes over the weekend. The Russians fired from neighboring Belarus, north of Ukraine, and hit targets in northern and western Ukraine. Associated Press journalists in Kyiv saw rescue services battling flames and rescuing civilians. Klitschko said 4 people were hospitalized with injuries and a 7-year-old girl was pulled alive from the rubble. Culture Minister Alexander Tkachenko said on Telegram that a kindergarten was hit in the attacks. Firefighters put out a fire in a badly damaged 9-story residential building in the central Shevchenkivsky district, the emergency services said. Debris was strewn over parked cars outside a smoldering building with a crater in its roof. There are people under the rubble, Klitschko said on the Telegram messaging app. He added that several people had already been hospitalized. At another site about 400 meters away, a Reuters photographer saw a large blast crater by a playground in a private kindergarten that had smashed windows. Some privately held storage garages in the area were completely destroyed. Russia's defense ministry said it had used high-precision weapons to strike Ukrainian army training centers in the regions of Chernihiv, Zhytomyr and Lviv, an apparent reference to strikes reported by Ukraine on Saturday. Ukraine Member of Parliament Oleksiy Goncharenko wrote on the Telegram messaging app that, according to prelim data, 14 missiles were launched against Kyiv region and Kyiv. Air Force spokesman Yuri Ignat said the missiles were Kh-101 air-launched cruise missiles fired from planes over the Caspian Sea. 2 more explosions were later heard in Kyiv, but their cause and possible casualties were not immediately clear. Meanwhile, Russian forces have been seeking to swallow up the last remaining Ukrainian stronghold in the eastern Luhansk region, pressing their momentum after taking full control Saturday of the charred ruins of Severodonetsk and the chemical plant where hundreds of Ukrainian troops and civilians had been holed up. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can be alerted to our next video. We will see you at the next episode.